Good evening. President of the ITAO, Sri Arun Deji, Chief Guest of the evening, young, energetic IT Minister Mr. Pratap Dev, Guest of Honor, a journalist in his own right, Sandeep Mishra, Guest of Honor, Mr. Samant Roy from HCL, Secretary of ITAO, Treasurer, members of the ITAO, participants in the exhibition, and dear friends. Coming to a IT Expo, I was a bit surprised, and more I was surprised when I was asked to be the key speaker, because my knowledge about IT, about computer is a fight between the megabytes and the gigabytes. I am still fighting what is megabyte and what is gigabytes. But still, when someone calls you, you have to come and you have to say a few words. Definitely technology, IT has touched upon everyone. It has touched upon the common person. I was going through a basic article on a newspaper which highlighted one of the conditions of India. He said how technology has taken over our basic needs. In India, what is estimated that nearly 50 crores of people use mobile phones, but 1/5 of our people use toilets. So this is how it shows that the technology has started overtaking our basic needs. There are some interesting facts. I run a newspaper and every day I have a nightmare that what will happen tomorrow. Because of internet, because of social media, because of all this information and technology that is going so fast, how the print media is going to survive. And the end delivery person, the hawker, gets 50 paisa to drop a newspaper at your place. And I think in near future, there will be hardly any hawkers to deliver those newspapers to the homes, which is a nightmare for any newspaper industry. That's why we have adapted, as well as Times of India has adapted. We have started sending news in the webs, the e-news, e-newspapers, so that people, I see many people logging in. I see the visitor numbers going, and I see lot of people as going to those sites, reading those newspapers, e-newspapers, which shows that the information has really passed on. One more thing is India, I hate this word, emerging country. I really hate why people say that we are an emerging country. We don't go out with begging bowls. We have a mission, we sent a mission to Mars, which hardly, we are among the top 6 countries of the world which have sent a mission to Mars, but why we are called emerging countries? We are not emerging countries, we are a developed country. Because most of our IT brains, those who operate in Silicon Valley, are Indians. And the day the Indians say that no, we are not going to work for America, probably the American system will shut down. So that is the influence of Indian IT industry, which has grown big, which is really the spine of IT industry in the whole world. And I see potential in Odisha also, because we have a dynamic, young, energetic minister, and he is talking about it. He is talking about putting Odisha in the IT map, which is a big welcome step. But again, the technology, Odisha and India cannot be insulated. We cannot be insulated from technology. And the technology cannot be expensive. If it is expensive, then the Indians or the people who lives here cannot afford it. When the mobile phone first came in, it was costing around 25,000-30,000 rupees. It was a status symbol. When people go out, they used to talk about on mobile phone, and people used to admire that he has a mobile phone. Now everyone from a rickshaw puller to the chief minister has a mobile phone. So it shows that the When the technology becomes inexpensive, people can afford it, then naturally the technology grows. And the technology is always challenged. There might be some Steve Jobs working somewhere to replace a computer with something else. No one would have imagined 10 years back that the computer can come in a tablet. It can be an iPad, but it has happened. And probably in another 30 years time, this computer can be an obsolete machine. The challenge is there, that the technology is evolving. People who are working on it. There are Steve Jobs who are working on it to give you a new product. I have an interesting story to tell you. I met a young chap, young boy, who told me, "Uncle, can you tell me who is the largest producer of cameras?" I said, "It's Nikon. It can be Canon, because they are the producer of cameras." He laughed and asked me another question. "Uncle, when did you buy your last alarm clock?" I had to really scramble, because the last alarm clock I brought was in my school days when to prepare for my exams. He said, "Look, uncle, how the challenges are coming from other side." He said the biggest producer of cameras, the Nikons and Canons, have not done anything wrong. They have improved on their product. They are working, they are inventing, they are making their enhanced product. But the largest camera producer is Nokia, the mobile phone. The mobile phone each mobile phone has now a camera, which has replaced Nikon and Canon, because Nikon and Canon never thought that the challenge will come from a mobile company. The same thing is with the alarm clock. The alarm clock has been challenged by the mobile phone. So it shows how the technology and the ideas getting segregated and getting into one unit, and people are reinventing themselves. And I see Orissa, I feel Orissa, I have met a lot of young IT people when I go abroad. I feel so happy about it. But I'll be more happy if the minister brings them back, and brings them back in a big way. Orissa is one of the places. I feel proud to be Orissa. And Orissa has the potential, has the infrastructure, has the manpower to be a second Bangalore. I should not call it a second Bangalore, it should be Bhubaneswar. So our emphasis should be that IT in India has to have the biggest hub in Bhubaneswar. And I think my young energetic minister is capable enough of doing that, and he can do that. That is my wish and my dream. Thank you all for giving me opportunity, speaking to you, and my fight with the gigabytes and megabytes will continue. Thank you very much.